What's up, sports freaks, and welcome to All Sports Media Team Presents Triple B, episode number 17. Title this week is going to be The Fastlane to the Big Dance. And, before we jump into why I picked that title, I got to introduce my partner in crime over here. I got my partner, George Ochola. What's going down, George?
Not much, just getting through the week.
You're telling me, man. It's been freaking crazy. Not just in life, but sports has been insane this week, dude. I mean, we got March Madness to talk about, men and women. We got some big changes in the WNBA that are coming. AEW had one of the bloodiest female fights I've ever seen. It was probably one of the best fights I've ever seen. It was freaking awesome. We'll talk about that. NXT has a big pay-per-view coming up, which we're going to talk about a little bit. MMA, big MMA announcement that came out this week. We know who our starting pitchers are going to be for the Angels and the Dodgers for opening day, so we'll talk about that. We unfortunately lost a very, very young hockey player. We'll talk about that later. NBA had some big news that went down as well, so we'll talk about that, including the Vanessa Bryant thing that came out this week. We're going to talk about that. NFL, dude, there were so many deals this week, George, that I'm going to have to read them to you guys. Like, that's how freaking long, how many trades and deals there were. It is just crazy. And last but not least, it's insane. Last but not least, WWE announced their next Hall of Famer for the class of 2021. Big name person who did a lot for the industry. And then we'll talk about Fastlane, which is this Sunday. Again, Fastlane to the big dance. That's why we got the two things at the end. Let's do it, George. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yes, sir. I'm about to fall asleep. That's okay. All right, cool. We're going to start off with what's behind me right now, March Madness. And that's for both the men and the women. The men started first. They actually started they started Thursday. And that was actually called the First Four, which is, we talked about this last week, that there was going to be 68 teams. And then, what is it, 2, 4, 6, 8 of them battle out. And what's called the First Four. And then it turns into 64 teams. So the four teams that came out of it and will be joining the tournament are Norfolk State, Drake, not the rapper, Texas Southern, and our very own UCLA Bruins. So they're in the tournament. Remember that when we jump in. First off, we did have an upset before the tournament started. We had basketball before the tournament started this week. And we did have one big upset, and that was number 12, Oklahoma State, taking out number 2, Baylor. So if that happens in the tournament, that's going to be an ultimate upset because it's one game elimination in this tournament,
Right.
So it's going to be absolutely bonkers. If you guys don't know how it works, it's 68, finger quotes, 64 teams, single game elimination. I think it's like 2 weeks worth of a tournament, and we get a March Madness college NCAA basketball champion. So let's see who's going to be in that tournament, George. We're going to try something a little new this week. I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully I don't screw up royally. Just let me know if you see it. You see the madness in the background?
Yeah, I see it.
Games, bro. Lots of games. Oh, it looks like we'll get into that in just a minute. We don't want to talk about those games just yet.
Okay.
Let me pull this down. All right, cool. So this is the men's bracket right here.
Okay.
And it has the West Division, the East Division, the Midwest Division, and I believe the South Division. And there's 16 teams per bracket. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to literally go down the bracket. We're going to start here. Hopefully, if they're initials, I know what school they are. I'm going to feel really stupid if I don't. So help me out. So can you see it okay?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, I'm making this a smidge bigger. Okay, so here we go. In the West Conference, or the Western Division, I guess you could call it, we got number 1, Gonzaga, as G kept picking them to win it all. So number 1, Gonzaga taking on Norfolk State, and they're the ones that got in via the First Four game. They also got Oklahoma, number 8 Oklahoma against number 9 Missouri. Number 5 Creighton Blue Jays. Remember we talked about that coach that did something really stupid and got in trouble.
Right.
Creighton Blue Jays taking on UC Santa Barbara, so another California team, ranked number 12. Virginia, we forgot to mention this. I'm sorry, George. Duke, Kansas, and Virginia are clear to be in this tournament. Remember last week we said they had COVID and we didn't know if they were going to be there. So Virginia is in, dude. Number 4, Virginia to take on Ohio University at ranked 13. Another California team, USC Trojans, ranked number 6, taking on number 11, Drake. Drake got in via the first 4. There's Kansas, number 3, Kansas, taking on number 14, Eastern Washington. And we got number 7, Oregon Ducks, taking on number 10, Virginia Commonwealth University Rams. They're in that upset story. And last in the West bracket, the Iowa Hawkeyes killed it this year. They were in the rankings, I don't know how many weeks in a row. They take on Grand Canyon University. That is your Western bracket, George. Any surprises in there that just stood out to you? Or
I mean, not surprises. I'm just glad that I'm seeing like a few California teams like in the tournament.
Yeah.
That's all I'm seeing.
Yeah.
That's what I like about this tournament this year.
Yeah. There's some good teams like that you didn't expect. Like I said, USC's in there, and we're gonna get a couple more right now. All right, George, that was the West. Here's the East. Michigan, we all knew they were going to be there. Number 1 ranked Michigan. Number 16, Texas Southern. And then the next game, number 8, LSU, taking on number 9, St. Bonaventure. I never can say that school. Number 5, Colorado. They came out of nowhere. Against Patrick Ewing's team. Number 12, Georgetown. Number 4, Florida State Seminoles, taking on number 13, UNC Greensboro. Another one that just slipped in somehow. Number 6, BYU, Brigham Young University, taking on our very own UCLA Bruins, ranked number 11, and they had to win a play-in game against Michigan State. Yeah, it was crazy. Number 3, Texas Longhorns, taking on Abilene Christian, ranked number 14. The Yukon Men Huskies, ranked number 7 against number 10, Maryland. And your last 2 teams in the Eastern Division, number 2, Alabama Crimson Tide, against one of our very own potential Oxnard Orcas players, Iona. One of our players went to Iona. I don't know why his name is slipping me right now. I feel really stupid at the moment, but I'll remember it probably in the middle of the show.
All right.
Right. So that was that. Now we go to the South. Let's move us. There we go. We're in the middle of the screen now. Okay. Here is the South. We got Baylor taking on Hartford, and as you can see, Baylor moved on. Wisconsin against North Carolina. It looks like Wisconsin just won that one. Villanova will be taking on Winthrop. That's later tonight, 5-12. Purdue is taking on North Texas as we speak right now. That's 4-13. Texas Tech beat Utah State. That was a really good game, 6-11. And then Arkansas took out Colgate, not the toothpaste. So Arkansas moved on. Florida and Virginia Tech went into overtime. First game of the tournament went into overtime, and it was awesome. Florida ends up moving on. They're ranked number 7. Oral Roberts got the very first upset of the day. Oral Roberts took out number 2 ranked Ohio State. Wow. So they will move on. And our final bracket, the Midwest Division. The Illinois Fighting Illini absolutely annihilate the University of Drexel, 1-16. Illinois moves on. And then the Cinderella story from I think it was 5 years ago, the Loyola of Chicago. They end up beating Georgia Tech, and now we got Illinois versus Illinois. Loyola of Chicago against Illinois in the second round. University of Tennessee fell to the number 12 ranked Oregon State Beavers, who were supposed to get last place in the Pac-12, George. They were picked to get last place, and they won the Pac-12, which is crazy. Oklahoma State defeats Liberty. They move on as well. They'll take on Oregon State. Another local, San Diego State, ranked number 6, taking on a very historical team, number 11, Syracuse. West Virginia will be taking on Morehead State. And just underway right now, number 7, Clemson, taking on number 10, Rutgers. And almost done, they're getting really close to the end of their game, is University of Houston against Cleveland State. My friend, that is the bracket for your men's NCAA March Madness. Talk to me, George. Anything that stood out, anything that surprises you? Who are you picking? Anything you want to throw out there right now?
Well, it was surprising that Ohio State lost by the fact that they did have a great season. Other than that, I think some of these games were pretty good. There was only one blowout team, Illinois. They took care. They took care of what Jackson. Drexel University. And I don't know, I think it's going to be a good tournament just based on the fact that there's going to be a lot of upsets this year. So
I think there's gonna be a
that's
lot.
what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what makes the tournament so good. It's like so many upsets. You just never know who's
Mm-hmm.
going to come up top. You just got
Mm-hmm.
to know your players.
Yeah, and all for this last 4 months of the season, you, me, Gilbert, and sometimes Coach, when he was with us, we kept saying, "Man, oh this upset, oh man, there was this upset, and oh my God, Michigan State smoked like 4 ranked teams, and they lost in the first round to UCLA so in the first four. You know,
Mhm.
it's freaking
Yeah.
crazy.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if I can pick a winner. I mean, everybody's saying Gonzaga. You know, Gonzaga's going to be in the finals. Illinois looked really strong today, though. Like I know they faced a 16, but damn, they were dominant. So I mean, I still haven't seen Michigan. I didn't. It's only the first day, you know. So there's still a
Mhm.
lot to talk about. What can happen? What can go down? Um, we'll see what's up. We'll see.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Mhm.
Who
And yeah,
knows?
it's just about like it just goes to show you it's just about matchups, not necessarily how good the team is during the season.
Mhm. Absolutely. A lot of
So
them
it's
are.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, so like teams have to play different from how they played it during the season.
Absolutely, absolutely. Not to be outdone, my friend, the ladies will also be in the tournament in a little bit, and they will
Okay.
be playing. This is a little bit different, so I'm going to move us back over here. They will be playing starting Sunday, and their
Okay.
regions are different. Remember, we talked about that they're going to be in Texas. They're going to be in San
Yeah.
Antonio. But before we talk about the tournament, we know this team's going to be there. University of Connecticut. They're always there. Coach Gino has COVID. Coach
Ooh, that's
Gino will probably not be available till May. I'm not he's if he can come back. They said he's not going to come back till late April, so mid-April, late April. If it's mid-April, he might be able to make it for the tournament. But he's older. He's got COVID. You know,
mhm.
prayers for him, but we'll see what's up.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately.
yeah, the one thing that the ladies do that the men don't, which kind of confuses me, but is also kind of cool at the same time, if you could see it on my screen, they have names for their regions. Like they don't put North, South, Midwest, whatever. They have the
Mhm.
Alamo region. This is in Texas, obviously. Alamo
Yeah.
region, Hemisphere region. Obviously, these are cities, probably in Texas.
Mhm.
Mercado region and the River Walk region. Wow, try saying that 3 times fast. All right. So, and this is another one that had some surprises. This one had some really good matchups, I thought. So we'll go ahead and through those real quick over here. We'll start with
Yeah.
Alamo,
Mhm.
and these are the ladies again. So
Okay.
here we go. Make this a little bigger for you. Actually, it's for me because I'm blind. Okay. First matchup, no surprise here at all. Number 1 ranked Stanford Cardinal. They've been slaughtering it all season. No surprise
Mhm.
there for me. They're going to take number 16, Utah Valley. The next game after that is number 8 ranked Oklahoma State Cowboys, Cowgirls, I
Mhm.
guess, taking on the
Mhm.
Wake Forest Lady Demon Deacons.
Mhm.
Missouri State will be taking on UC Davis, another California team, 5 versus 12.
Okay.
Your Arkansas Lady Razorbacks taking on Wright State, 4 versus 13. Tournament starts on Sunday, by the way.
Okay.
Lady Ducks of Oregon take on South Dakota, 6 versus 11.
Mhm.
Looks like the Lady Bulldogs of Georgia will take on Drexel. So Drexel made it in men's and women's. Drexel women were ranked 14. Northwestern will be taking on University of Central Florida. That's a 7 versus 10. And last but
Mhm.
not least, we knew these girls were going to be here as well. The Lady Cardinals with an S of
Mhm.
Louisville taking on, looks like Mary State. Mary State. We're gonna go with Mary State. I'm not exactly sure what it is. It's
Okay.
Marist.
Maris State.
Mary State. We'll go with that. Okay,
Yeah.
so that is your Alamo region. George, do you have anything that stands out in the Alamo region for you? Obviously not Stanford and Louisville because we knew they were going to be there.
No, not really. I mean, like, I just know that this is going to be one of the greatest games. Despite the fact that these teams are great teams and they'll go at it. So I'm just excited, just as excited as I am for the ladies basketball tournament than the men's basketball tournament.
Yeah, I think it's going to be awesome regardless.
Yeah, it's
All
going to be like an awesome game.
all right, my friend, let's hop into the hemisphere region. And your first one, another no surprise, no brainer. South Carolina Lady Gamecocks, ranked number 1. They're taking on Mercer. big name college, so we'll see what happens there.
Okay.
Lady Beavers of Oregon State take on Florida State Lady Seminoles, 8 and 9. Georgia Tech Lady Yellow Jackets taking on SFA.
Okay.
Who was FSA? I don't know who SFA is. I apologize. We'll figure that out when we get a chance.
Okay.
West Virginia will be taking on Lehigh, another surprise team. Lady Longhorns of Texas take on the University of Bradley. Lady Bruins of UCLA, again, they've been killing it this season as well. They're ranked number 3. They take on the Wyoming, I guess, Cowgirls. Can't say Cowboys. Alabama Crimson Tide ladies taking on the North Carolina Lady Tar Heels. And last but not least, another powerhouse, University of Maryland Lady Terrapins taking on Mount St. Mary's. Anything that stands out to you on that one?
I just like that both UCLA basketball teams are in the tournament.
Right? There you go.
Like, when does that ever happen?
I know, seriously. And the men had to play in, which is even crazier.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully UCLA, like I'm gonna be unrealistic real quick. Hopefully if UCLA wins it all, I'm not mad at all. So I know they're not, but you know what? I would love for them to like win it all. That would be awesome.
Never say never, dude. It's freaking March Madness. You never know what the hell's gonna happen. So, all right, let's jump into the River. I can't. Who picked this name? River Walk Region. I don't even say that. River Walk Region. Here we go. Of course, we just mentioned the Lady Huskies of University of Connecticut without Coach Gino. They're going to be number 1 seed. They take on High Point. Your 8 versus 9 is Syracuse against South Dakota State. Then after that, you got the Lady Hawkeyes of Iowa, number 5 against Central Michigan, ranked 12. University of Kentucky Lady Wildcats taking on Idaho State. Okay, that's a different one for me. Lady Wolverines of Michigan will take on Florida Gulf Coast. Then you got the Volunteers of Tennessee taking on Middle Tennessee. I thought that was an interesting matchup. The Vatech Lady Hokies take on Marquette. And then your last one, another powerhouse. These ladies can go all the way. University of Lady Baylor Bears taking on Jackson State. Talk to me about the River Walk region.
Dang, man. Ooh. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, they got some powerhouses in that one.
And even the Lady Gonzaga team is pretty good. They're 23-3. And they're taking on Beaumont. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Both Gonzaga teams are pretty good.
Yeah. George is very excited. He's jumped into our Mercado region already. So we'll get into the Mercado region right now. Number 1, North Carolina State. They've been killing it this whole season. I think they've been in the rankings every week. We've talked about it. North Carolina State will take on North Carolina A&T. Your next one is South Florida against Washington State. The one you just said, Gonzaga against Belmont. Indiana Lady Hoosiers against Virginia Commonwealth University Lady Rams. Rutgers against BYU. The Wildcat Ladies of Arizona taking on Stony Brook. Iowa State taking on the Lady Spartans of Michigan State. And Texas A&M taking on Troy. That is your ladies bracket, which will begin on Sunday. So keep your eyes and ears open for that one. What do you think about that bracket, George?
Oh my gosh. I don't know what to say, but I just can't wait until I watch Sunday's ladies basketball game.
It's going to be exciting.
It's going to be really exciting.
It's going to be super exciting. Little update on the men. I'm watching it right now. As you can see, looks like Houston's about to take it from Cleveland State, so they'll move on as well. And Purdue and University of North Texas, they're still pretty close. 61-57, minute and a half left. Anything can happen there. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing this now. And we're going to go into our next thing. So this tournament's going to be dope. Men.
Right, yeah.
It's going to be exciting.
A lot of basketball to watch.
Oh, dude, I had like 5 screens while my son was in school today. I had just screen, trying to follow everything. Yeah. It was nuts. So it is what it is, but at least you know what you're looking at. You know, if you say men can't multitask, should have saw me earlier. All right. Speaking of looking at cool things, check this.
WNBA.
They got a new logo.
Wow, that's a new logo?
New logo, new colors, new jerseys coming. A brand new ball. I think it's orange and white. So we got a new ball, new jerseys, and the logo is the GOAT herself, Miss Diana Taurasi.
Oh wow. Okay. Dope. Dope.
How
Dope.
do you feel? And do you feel this is warranted for Diana Taurasi to be the new logo of the WNBA?
I mean, yeah, because she's a future Hall of Fame and she had a great career with the Phoenix Mercury. I just like the fact that she stayed in one team and
Mm-hmm.
won like multiple championships. So that just speaks for itself and speaks how her worth ethic was throughout her years in the WNBA.
Absolutely. And my thing is, obviously she's earned it. I would call her the GOAT for a reason. You know, she
Hmm.
is amazing. Before this was Lisa Leslie, I believe. So you can have
Right.
two better logos for the WNBA. With that said,
Mhm.
without jumping into NBA, with seeing this, does that give us hope for a new NBA logo? What do you think? Without
I
getting
think, yeah, I think it does because, um, like the WNBA is changing so much. They're getting more recognition that they didn't get before. So that
Mhm.
just goes to show you like how WNBA is progressing. So
Uh-huh.
like if WNBA could progress like this, like I think something good is gonna go on in the near future.
Yeah. I'm excited to see where it goes. And I'm excited to see these ladies in action, just doing what they
Hmm.
do best, you know?
Right.
Speaking of ladies doing what they do best, George, have you ever heard the term fight like a girl? You're not going to get in trouble, I promise. Have you ever
Yes,
heard
I
that?
have. Yes, I have.
Well, my friend, well, besides the fact that I have lots of friends that can kick anybody's ass, boy or girl, I think these two ladies that went at it on AEW on Wednesday showed us fighting like a girl can get pretty crazy. So
Ooh,
that
yeah.
right there, my friend, is Miss Dr. Britt Baker. She is of
Mm.
AEW. She's actually a dentist, which is kind of cool, but she's amazing in the ring. I love her.
Well, you said she's a dentist.
She's a real dentist. Yeah.
Hopefully,
Isn't
she
that
didn't get her
cool?
teeth knocked out.
I know, seriously. No, she knocks other people's
That would be bad.
no, she knocks other people's teeth out. But wait till I explain this match to you, George. You're not even a big wrestling fan. You're gonna be like, oh my God, I have to go see this.
Okay.
Okay. When I get into obviously something went down. Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Check this.
What happened?
Okay. She earned her stripes, but we're not get into that just yet. Last week, we talked about this new faction that came to be on AEW because MJF took out the inner circle with Chris Jericho, and now he has the new group is himself, FTR, Sean Spears, who used to be in WWE as Ty Dillinger, WWE Hall of Famer Tully Blanchard, and the big monster Wardlow. They're calling themselves the Pinnacle. And I guess that's a reasonable name because except for Tully Blanchard, they're all pretty young. They're in their like late 20s, mid 20s, and they're like the
Mm-hmm.
pinnacle of the company. So I thought that was a pretty cool name. That's
Right.
what I really wanted to throw out there. I thought that was cool. All right, let's spend the time on the match that we want to talk about. This one right here. This match was called a lights out match, and that's when the company wants nothing to do with it. They can't be sued, nothing, nothing. So the show went off air. So
Mm-hmm.
the lights went out, lights came back on, they were officially off air. They showed the match, but AEW was not responsible for it. This
Mm-hmm.
match was brutal, as you can
Mm-hmm.
see. She's not the only one that bled, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. It was
Oh
between
snap.
her and former Lucha Underground superstar Thunder Rosa. The match was
Ooh.
awesome. Okay, I mean Thunder Rosa's a high flyer. Britt
Mm-hmm.
Baker is more of a technical fighter, but they both brawled their freaking ass off. So I sent a joke to you guys after that match, I believe, and I said, "Oh my God, ladders, stairs, and chairs! Oh my!" And you guys were like, "What is he talking about?" This match had all of that and more, dude. Like they had chair shots to the head, they had stair shots, metal stairs to the head. They fell. Britt Baker got suplexed from the top rope to the side of a ladder. You have to watch this match, George. It's going to be on Hulu if you go to AEW Dynamite. Just through the
Okay.
ladder, didn't even break, which makes it worse. If the ladder doesn't break, that means it has no give, you know? They went
Mm-hmm.
through tables, they went through the hard floors, they got hit by chairs, they got hit by stairs. Even, ooh, I don't cringe that much. We talked about the barbed wire match last week.
Right.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
this one was pretty damn close. Towards the end of the match, Mind you, they're already tired. They're already bleeding. They're already getting beat up. Thunder Rosa, or Britt Baker actually brings out a bag. Whenever you see someone holding a small bag in wrestling, it's usually thumbtacks. Britt Baker throws the thumbtacks, probably thousands of them, all over the ring. This is where I cringe because I hate needles. Thunder Rosa was about to get slammed. Britt Baker gets grabbed and gets powerbombed. That's when she puts her between her legs, picks her up on her shoulders, and slams her on her back. Britt Baker, mind you, you see her outfit. There's nothing really on the back to guard her.
Yeah.
Power bombed onto thousands of thumbtacks, George. Yes. And I was
brutal.
like, ugh. Yes. And I was like, oh my God, she just earned my respect right now. Like Mick Foley is sitting somewhere like, oh my God, this crazy tray here, you know? So she took that power bomb and she kicked out of the pin, which was nuts. I didn't expect that to happen. Thunder Rosa got the W, but honestly, both of these women were winners. They put on a hell of a show. They killed what the men did that night. These ladies stole the show, and honestly, this woman right here, Dr. Britt Baker, she was good in other federations that she was in. But what she's doing for AEW right now, they need to put the belt on her, and they need to do it soon. So that's all I'm going to say about that for her. So shout out to Thunder Rosa. Shout out. Wow. See, they got me tongue-tied. Shout out to Dr. Britt Baker in an amazing lights out match. And I give respect to all the women in wrestling right now. That's all I got to say about that. We're also talking title matches here. We're talking about putting the belt on Britt Baker. We got this match that's going to probably happen. There's a story behind this, and I'll give it to you. In a nutshell, let me see if I point the right way. Okay, this guy came in and won the title, right? This title that Balor has. This is Karrion Kross. He came in from the Impact Wrestling, kicked everybody's ass, became the champion at NXT. Very next day, or it was that night that he won the title, I think he separated his shoulder.
Oh, wow.
So he had to give up the title. This guy, Finn Balor, won the next tournament and won that belt. The funny story is Finn Balor won the very first ever Universal title, which we'll talk about later, when they brought the Universal title, when they did the draft originally years ago. He won the first ever Universal title, separated his shoulder, had to give up that belt, which got won by somebody else the following week. The story, it was crazy. You can't make this up. So Balor has been fighting other people for a while, and then Kross has just been raising hell because he just came back a little while ago.
Right.
So he wants his fair. He never got a title match. He never lost the belt. So people have been waiting for this matchup. But before we get into this, I want to let you know what's going on during the show. We talked about last week that the Undisputed Era broke up. Very popular team in the NXT. They broke up, and the two, quote, leaders, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, they got into it again. They were sent out of the building, and it got so bad. Kayfabe means storyline. Adam Cole or Kyle O'Reilly tried to run Adam Cole off the road while driving away from the arena. They both get arrested, and if it's going to be this crazy, kayfabe, going to be this crazy between the two of them when they fight at
NXT
Stand and Deliver, the match is going to be nuts. It's going to be, because there's a 2-night event. It's going to be one of the main events. It's going to be freaking cool. Speaking of main events, we talked about Io Shirai, little women's champion, super short but amazing Io Shirai, taking on super tall, super muscular Raquel Gonzalez. That will happen. She gave her the contract this week. Raquel signed it. We're good to go. And this part was cool. I think I mentioned to you guys that there was rumors that Jordan Devlin from Ireland was coming back to NXT. What happened was he won the Cruiserweight title, which is like the light division. He won the Cruiserweight title almost 2 years ago when COVID hit. He's from Europe. He's from Europe. So he wasn't allowed to come back over for a while. But he was the champion, and he kept the belt, but WWE said, forget this. He obviously can't come back. We're going to have a tournament. They had a tournament. This guy named Santos Escobar won. He's had the title for about a year now. Devlin arrives. Devlin says, hey, I'm the real champion.
Yeah.
They have a big face-off. And obviously, at Stand and Deliver, we're going to have an undisputed title match for the Cruiserweight title, which I think is cool. This goes back all the way to WrestleMania 10 between Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon. They both had intercontinental titles at the time. Shawn was injured. Shawn came back. Razor was champion. Sean said he was champion. They had an amazing ladder match that Razor won. And then it happened again. This happened a couple times with Intercontinental title with Razor and Sean. And then with the WWE title, this happened. CM Punk walked out. If you ever heard of the pipe bomb, CM Punk walked out on WWE as the WWE champion. A couple weeks later, they have a tournament. Rey Mysterio wins it. John Cena beats Rey Mysterio in a surprise match. John Cena's WWE champion. CM Punk shows up at SummerSlam. They fight title for title. CM Punk against John Cena, which actually sucked because Alberto Del Rio had the Money in the Bank at the time. I went to the SummerSlam. Yeah, I went to the SummerSlam. And Alberto Del Rio cashed in after Punk had beaten Cena, and he walks out the champion. I was like, seriously, bro, you're killing me. So Devlin, Escobar, title for title, gonna be cool. Let's see. This happened, Balor and Kross. But check, there's even a little more of a twist in this. We talked about them that they're gonna fight each other. Karrion Kross is married to this girl named Scarlett Bordeaux. Scarlett Bordeaux comes out with him all the time. She comes out, she gets on the microphone, and she says, again, kayfabe, I had this vision of gold between the two of them. And she's talking about the tag team title.
Okay.
So we're like, these guys don't even like each other. But then the tag team champions, Orny Loken and Danny Burch, come out. They say, we're not afraid of you, blah, blah, blah. We'll have a match. So now we got the two guys that are going to fight for the world title fighting for the tag title. So I'm going to just shorten this match for you. They have the match. And Scarlett Bordeaux is ringside. Mind you, Scarlett Bordeaux is a trained wrestler, so she can what's called take bumps. Balor goes to hit Lorcan, I think it was, and misses. Nails Scarlett Bordeaux, lands her to the ground, goes to check on her. Karrion Kross just snaps like any husband would, right?
Yeah.
Beats the living crap out of Balor, throws him in the ring, and the last thing you see on that episode of NXT is Karrion Kross with his foot on Balor with the belt in the air, which is like the ultimate statement in wrestling. So it's going to be cool at NXT Stand and Deliver. It's a 2-night event, just like WrestleMania. And it's actually going to be the couple days after WrestleMania, I believe. Okay. I could be wrong. Wait a minute. No, it is before. I apologize. It's before. It's the Wednesday and the Thursday. The 6th, 7th. I think it's the 7th, the 8th, something like that. It's the Wednesday and the Thursday, the week of the 10th.
The week of the 10th of April?
The week of the 10th, yeah. So it's the Wednesday and Thursday. So it's like 7th, 8th or something like that. Okay. Anywho, this is the predicted card. Again, we talked about the Cruiserweight title, Escobar against Devlin. They're saying a North American title, Dexter Lumis against Johnny Gargano. That story's been going for a while. They're talking about the United Kingdom title because that is NXT as well. They're talking about them being part of this pay-per-view. It'll be Gallus against Pretty Deadly, who's pretty brand new. The UK women's title, all three of these names are huge. Miko Satomura, who's like a Japanese legend, taking on Piper Niven and against Kaylee Ray. Piper Niven and Kaylee Ray used to fight in a federation called ICW, Instant Championship Wrestling. And it was you're talking about a bloody match, one of the most bloodiest matches I've seen. You can see it on WWE Network for like another day or two before Peacock takes over. Definitely go see the match. And then, of course, the main event, these two right here, Balor and Kross. Night 2, tag team titles, MSK, who won the Dusty Rhodes Classic. We talked about that a couple weeks ago, taking on Lorcan and Burch. They have the Kid taking on Tyler Bate. I don't even know who this Kid is for the Heritage title. United Kingdom title, Walter against Tommaso Ciampa. The NXT Women's title, we talked about Io Shirai against Big Raquel Gonzalez. And then the main event's obviously going to be Kyle O'Reilly against Adam Cole. Both are amazing wrestlers, and they will, I guarantee you, will steal the show that night. So I give them the main event of night 2. A dude, honestly, George, that knows something about being a main event is this guy right here. Unfortunately, it didn't take very long for us to get one of these.
Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Oh, okay.
The legend. We lost Marvelous Marvin Hagler, a boxing icon at the age of 66. So condolences to, he was a boxer. He made all kinds of cameos on TV shows. I literally was watching Punky Brewster with my son a little while ago. Marvin Hagler was on it, you know. So 66 years old. Rest in peace to Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Condolences to the Hagler family, to WBO, WBA, all the boxing organizations, you know, losing one of their very own this week. So Tired of these legends falling, and unfortunately, George, this won't be the only one we talk about today. So
Okay.
it's very sad. But I do have some good news, which is going to be kind of interesting how they plan to do this. Canelo's got another big fight coming.
Okay.
Canelo will be taking on Joe Saunders. I always laugh when I see that name because that was a guy who played for the Angels a while ago. The name, not the guy. But Joe Saunders. They're planning to do this at AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys, in front of 60,000 fans.
Wait, 60,000 fans?
I don't know.
I mean, Texas did raise their protocols, like, so everything's back to normal.
100%, yes. I don't know, bro. We don't get political. We don't get political on this show.
Okay.
But damn, 60,000, man. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
That does not sound like a good idea if you ask me. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with that. So
right.
Yeah. But that's gonna be big money. It's Canelo. It's freaking Cowboy Stadium. It's gonna make money. So the WBO is gonna do what they gotta do. Another big fight we've been talking about. Will it happen? Will it not happen? It's up in the air. Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, heavyweight champion of their respective organizations. They have signed the dotted line. It's about damn time. That's all I got to say about that. 2 fights, not just one. So no matter who wins the first one, the second one, someone could win the other title back. So it's 2 undisputed title matches. One probably will take place in the summer, which makes sense. And then one to take place more than likely in the winter. So I'm excited for this fight. I mean, we got some big name fights coming. We got Canelo. We got this fight right here.
Yeah.
So keep your ears out and eyes open for that. Also, keep your ears and eyes open for this right here. UFC, what is that? 261. Another loaded card.
Wow.
Very loaded. 3 main events, just like we just had in our last pay-per-view of 259. 260 is kind of iffy. 261 is going to be epic. Your 3 main events. Before I talk about that, before I jump into that, we do have a big UFC announcement. Khabib, I can never say his last name. You know who Khabib is. Khabib Nurmagomedov, I believe it is. He is retiring. He's the one that has that big giant afro, the gold afro. Okay. Yeah, and he's Russian, I believe. Anyway, he's retiring, and he's a champion. So he has relinquished his title, and at UFC 262, which will be after this one, it'll be Oliveira against Chandler. And we talked about Chandler about a month ago. He just beat the crap out of, I can't remember who he fought, if it was Askren or who it was. Beat the living crap out of him. May 15th, that one's going to take place, so make sure you mark your calendars. But this is the one right here, man. You got to mark your calendars for this one right here. It's going to be epic. 3 main events, 2 of which are female main events. We got this one right here. Yeah, my way here.
Yeah.
I hate this mirror. There we go. I don't do mirroring. I can't do mirror. There we go. So we got the first one is going to be this way. This one right. And that's going to be Valentina Shlevenko. She is the current flyweight champion, and she'll defend against Jessica Andrade. And she's a beast. She's I think she's like Nunes in the future. She's not as dominant, but she's pretty freaking beast in the octagon. She'll be taking on Valentina Shlevenko for the flyweight title. We also got the strawweight title. Even if you're not a UFC fan, you know who Rose Namajunas is. She's going to be taking on the strawweight champion Zhang Weili. I don't know. It's Chinese, so I don't want to mess it up. And that's over. Work with me here. There we go. Her right there. And that's going to be for the strawweight title. Rose may be little, but she's feisty. And Zhang doesn't give a crap about anybody. She will knock you out regardless of who you are. So get ready for that one. The main event right behind me. This one's easier because I just put my thumbs up. We got the welterweight title. Kamaru Usman defending the welterweight title against Jorge Masvidal. 2 of the biggest names in all of UFC. It's going to be a killer card, bro. I mean, everybody's going to want to see it. You're going to want that superstar right there, spotlight, and they got 6 killer freaking, no pun intended, superstars ready to go for your viewing pleasure, man. I can't wait. That's going to be UFC 261. Did I put the date? April 24th.
April 24th.
There you go. Sorry, it's hard to move. April 24th. So that's going to be epic. April's going to be badass, George. You know why April is also badass?
Why?
Bam! Baseball starting up. April 1st is your first game of the season for the Dodgers, as you can see. Before we talk about that, though, we talked about Texas. I'm kind of iffy on what Texas is thinking to do. We talked about this during the week. We haven't said it on air. We're going to say it on air right now. The Texas Rangers, not the Astros, the Houston Astros have not decided if they're going to do this. The Texas Rangers, which is Arlington, Dallas area, have decided that they want to go 100% full capacity for opening day.
Ooh, that's risky.
Yes, very risky. And I hope it doesn't end up affecting other places like us who just got into red tier and are ready to go and see our teams, you know?
Right.
100% capacity. They're not stepping back on it. They want to do it. And, you know, Texas, they want to do it. They're going to do it. So we'll see what happens with that. Angels and Dodgers, though, they have been cleared. We are what's called red tier. 20% capacity. Dodgers, I believe, is like a 50 plus thousand seater, and Angels is a 45,000 seater. So you do the math. It's going to be good. For the Angels, it will be Dylan Bundy. That will be your opening day starter. So shout out to him. And Dodgers, obviously, right behind me. Dodgers have the most stacked pitching staff of all of baseball right now. They got Clayton Kershaw in the 1. They probably got Trevor Bauer in the 2. You know, like, I'm just scared to even think about what the Dodgers are going to pull out, man. It's going to be absolutely freaking bananas.
Yeah. Go Dodgers.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Other big news. Check this out.
What happened?
Trying to be neutral. All right. This is baseball, but not really. The King, LeBron James. We all know. I don't know if he's a Yankee fan, but that guy owns a lot of Yankee stuff, right?
You've seen it. Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen him with the Yankee hat whenever he goes to games. So, yeah, he's a big-time Yankees fan, I think.
Bro, take a wild guess what team LeBron James is part owner of now.
What?
The Boston Red Sox.
Oh, my gosh. And you're in a Laker uniform, and he's a part owner of the Boston Red Sox.
And he's a Yankee fan.
He's a Yankee fan. Wow. That just makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Really no sense. But I'm proud of LeBron getting that part owner gig. I hope he does well. Like how so I'm pretty sure he could juggle NBA games and
Well, he's part owner. He's not the main owner, so
he's not the main owner, but he's part owner. But yeah, so he should be able to be okay. Like
the funny part is now he's going to be going to all these Red Sox events, and he's a freaking Yankee fan.
Oh, hold on 1 second.
Yeah. Go. I'll just talk while you're doing that. So again, LeBron James, part owner of the Red Sox.
Sorry about my brother.
Insane. You're fine. Absolutely insane to see something like that. It's freaking crazy. Here's another sad story. Nobody's dead, I promise. But it's still sad. This guy just got traded to the Mets from the Cleveland Indians. He just overcame cancer last year, and I believe is an honorary All-Star for the Cleveland Indians. That was 2 years ago, I believe. Anyway, but he overcame cancer. Talking about Carlos Carrasco. He's a pitcher. Freaking just got in this brand new team. Good deal. Got traded to the Mets. Mets looking really good. Freaking tore his ACL, dude.
Ooh, that's not good.
That sucks. I feel so bad for him. He just overcame cancer. He gets on a winning team, and now
he has to miss a whole season.
Yeah, it pretty much probably. We'll see. So it kind of sucks, you know. So prayers for Carlos Carrasco. That really sucks. Hopefully he'll overcome those injuries pretty quickly. Another dude that just overcame injuries, finally home this week, resting in Florida. You guys don't remember.
Tiger Woods.
You guys don't remember. There it is. The moment that will live in sports infamy. Tiger Woods cheated death. He's at home resting with his family. So hopefully he'll take time. Hopefully he'll take his time, not rush back, you know, because destroyed his legs. You'd be like,
yeah, he could have been dead.
Oh yeah, with that, you saw the picture?
Yeah. I thought he was dead when I first read the article.
Mhm.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm glad he's okay, and I'm glad he's resting. He
Mhm.
should be resting until he's fully
So
healed, like
strong enough. Yeah.
going
Yeah.
on the course again.
So obviously he's not going to be hitting the green anytime soon. However, he is going to be hitting the green, George. Ricky, how is he hitting the green? What are you talking about? He
Yeah.
just signed I want to say it's 2K. 2K golf for Xbox and PS5, I believe.
Okay,
So he will
okay,
be in the game.
okay.
Only way you're going to be seeing Tiger Woods play golf for a while.
Mm,
So we really, really want to see Tiger play. Go get 2K. So,
for real, for real.
so again, I just want to shoot prayers to Tiger Woods and his family for a speedy recovery. Hopefully, he'll get through it quick, and we'll see him
Mm-hmm,
on the green sooner than later.
mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, in this sport right here, we have the opposite situation. Someone didn't make it. You see these awesome masks, cages all over the place. It's called a cage. That wasn't the case in Russia. We lost a 19-year-old. I'll try his name. Tamir Fatsudinov, 19 years old. Got hit by a puck in the temple, and those things go up to 100 miles an hour, and they're hard as hell.
Ooh.
So
Oh yeah, and you're in that ice. Oh my
normal
gosh.
hockey helmets. It's just the helmet, you know. Some have a face guard, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this kid had, but he got hit in the temple, and it must have been really hard because he died a couple days later, or he died a day later. 19. Get cages for these freaking players. I don't care if you're a pro or not.
Really?
Get a cage, not just goalies. Everybody needs either a full plastic shield or a cage.
Right.
Why not? Stop being so freaking machismo. Get your damn cage. Save your damn life. So it's kind of my mini Brees
Exactly.
rant. I was so sad.
These
I'm like,
rants.
he's 19, bro. I'm not even mad.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed. Like 19.
Right.
It shouldn't happen. That's just negligence on the Russian league's fault and negligence on NHL. A lot of players just wear the helmet, dude. And I've seen when I worked at Ducks, I saw a lot of big injuries as well, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's freaking insane. Prayers to this kid, Tamir Fatsudinov. Prayers to his family, to I guess I'm not sure it's not the KHL, but it's a Russian hockey league. So prayers to them and his teammates, man. 19, this kid was just coming up, dude. So he probably had a lot of really young teammates as well. So
Mm-hmm.
mentally, they're going to be going through a lot. Especially, imagine the person who hit the puck. Like that guy has to live with that the rest of his life. That he killed
Yeah.
somebody with a shot that he wasn't even meant to hit him. Like
Right.
it's real, it's real. Don't be afraid to sign your kids up for hockey, but make sure they have cages. I'm just putting that out there. All right.
Protect yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So since we're talking about cages, George, look behind me. We got
Yeah.
3 brand new duck masks. They
Okay.
did throwback night, which I thought was pretty cool, as they took
Mm-hmm.
on the Stanley Cup hopeful Colorado Avalanche.
Okay.
Our goalie Ryan Miller. Sometimes when you get new equipment, I was a catcher. When you get
Mm-hmm.
new equipment, you got to break that in, dude. You're not used to certain
Right.
feelings, the way you act, the way you react, the way you're catching,
Mm-hmm.
even when the ball hits you or whatever. Same thing with the goalie. Their glove, if
Mm-hmm.
it's loose in the bottom, you're not used. Maybe you're used to having it at a certain length or wearing it a
Yeah.
certain way.
Mm-hmm.
But Miller, they just hand in this gear. Hey, you're wearing this tonight.
And you can
Yep.
actually make the same argument as shoes too, because
Oh,
in
of course,
basketball, if you get new shoes, you have to
of course.
break them in.
Oh
Sometimes it
yeah,
takes a while,
of course.
depending on what the shoe is,
Any
to break
sport,
them
dude.
in. So
Yeah,
yeah, any sport.
ice skating, same thing. There was a movie called Ice Princess, and they gave her brand new skates right before a
Mm-hmm.
competition. Her foot was all bloody. It was gross. But my point is, Ryan Miller gave up 8 goals. 8 goals.
That's a lot of goals.
Yes. He gave up 8 freaking goals that night. So I don't think it was a good idea to give him the new equipment. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that kind of sucks. Also, let's see what else. We got some more goalie news. This guy's pretty cool. I like this guy. Plays for the Winnipeg Jets now. He used to play for the Montreal Canadiens for a long time. His name's Carey Price. He'll probably be in the Hall of Fame. He just played this goalie, mind you, a goalie. Just played his 700th game as a goalie.
That's a lot of games.
Yes, and getting puck shot at you, like 50, 60 shots at you a night.
Oh my gosh.
That's much respect for Carey Price. That's all I gotta say. Another Canadian team did something big as they traded their goalie, Venny Venavahalen. They traded him to the Columbus Blue Jackets for Mikko Lehtinen. So that's another big deal that went down. And speaking of deals, the NHL trade deadline is right around the corner, April 12th. So if you're a hockey fan, keep your eyes and ears glued to the NHL Network, to ESPN, and just keep following what you got. Buffalo Sabres fired their coach, Coach Kruger. No relation to Freddie, unless his name is Freddie, which would be kind of funny, but it's not. Bro is on a 12-game losing streak. 12-game losing streak, and he currently has the worst record in all of the NHL. So I think it's warranted to fire him. I'm just saying.
It is warranted. Isn't that many games and you're dead last? Yep, it's warranted.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And one last hockey story. Actually, we have a lot of hockey stories today. One last hockey story. You just talked about, oh my God, 8 goals. That's a lot of goals. Blah, 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 right? Bro, the New York Rangers, check what the New York Rangers did. They scored, mind you, hockey is 20-minute period, okay? Hockey, you average about 5 goals a game if you're lucky. The New York Rangers scored 7 goals in 1 period against the Philadelphia Flyers.
Flyers ain't playing no defense.
Seriously, right?
That's no defense. You're basically just letting them score the goal. Is that what happened? Because there's no way a team could score the goal in one period.
Many goals in 1 period, exactly.
That many goals. That tells you what your defense is.
And I bet you the Philly faithful, man, they probably burned that place to the floor just being, you know how Philly fans get? They don't mess around.
They're crazy. They're crazy. They'll rough you.
Yeah, they're used to winning. They're absolutely pissed off. And it looks like I got breaking news. I'm going to jump into it really quick. NCAA upset. Number 13, North Texas just defeated number 4, Purdue. Ooh, another upset. That's 3 upsets today. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Speaking of upset.
Many more to see.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Speaking of upset, we all know that Philly gets mad really easy. That's the moral of the story here. All right, George, let's hit the hardwood really quick.
Okay.
Talk a little NBA and playoffs. There's a good chance this guy will be there. Okay? You'll see why.
Oh, yeah, of course. Dame Dollar. Yeah.
Dame Dollar. You'll see why I picked him in just a minute.
Okay.
But they're going to have, like they did last year, they're going to have play-in games, probably at the end of the bubble. I think they're going to have a bubble. I haven't been told if it's going to be a bubble, but they're going to have play-in games for the playoffs, and it's going to be ranks 7 through 10 from each conference, which I think is cool. So that gives, remember when we talked about it was 7, 8, and then 9 and 10 all get a chance. And look at what happened with Phoenix. They almost got in last year, So
yeah, they went perfect in the bubble, but they still didn't make the playing game. That's crazy.
They got screwed.
Yeah, they did.
But they're going to do it again this year. And with how strong the teams are this year, you never know what to expect. It's going to be pretty cool. So I'm excited to see where that goes. You asked me, why the hell is Damian Lillard hanging out behind me? Damian Lillard right here. This guy, this superstar, I'd kill to have him in a Laker jersey, just dropped 50 versus New Orleans. 50 against Zion and that defense. Talk to me about that. Did you see that game?
I've heard of it, but I didn't really see it. But I saw what happened. I saw the highlights. It just goes to show you how much work Damian Lillard puts into the offseason. Like, he's there to be great. He's there to, prove people wrong. The dude's from Oakland, so and he went to, a small school, so he doesn't get recognized all that much. But, Damian Lillard is putting people on notice on who he is. Like I said, last week, Damian Lillard should have been a starter. Damian Lillard should have been in the three-point contest with Steph Curry.
Yeah.
It's just so many things that Damian Lillard could accomplish. So I mean, if he's going the way he's going, like I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to be in the MVP conversation, which he should be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But like it's just unfortunate that LeBron James and Giannis Antetokounmpo are like one of the front runners, and even Joel Embiid.
Embiid, which we're going to talk about in a little bit.
Exactly. So I mean, with that said, like I think Damian Lillard, like in my opinion, is one of the best point guards in the league, and he proves to be like the best closer in the NBA, in my opinion. I just don't see other players like him, and then what I do like about him, he's so cool under pressure.
Yeah.
He was like that since day one when he came in the NBA. Like that's why I admire so much about him, because nobody like gives him a chance of him saying like, oh, he's great. He's never in the conversation, and that's what. And like, I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant about Damian Lillard, because Damian Lillard,
Get down with
he's just that
George.
dude. He's just that dude. He's just that dude. That's all I gotta say.
Bad man.
He's that bad man.
That's right.
You know?
I love it.
So I wouldn't be surprised if his team finishes top 3, top 4.
Well, we'll see. Well, it's Portland. You never know. So
exactly.
You know what's cool though? He's not the only one that made some history this week. There had 3 people make history this week. One, D. Lillard, who's kind of in the middle, a rookie, and of course the superstar. So I don't say Lillard's not a superstar, but you know what I mean. The rookie that made some history was Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards broke 40 this week, and that's the first time a rookie has dropped 40. So congratulations to Anthony Edwards. He hit 42.
Okay.
He dropped number 42 this week. Yep,
the number 1 pick.
For a reason.
Not the season.
That's right. Just dropped 42. And then your dude, Chef Steph Curry, the king of threes. I was going to originally start with Steph Curry as butt hurt, but I'm not going to do that yet. We're going to talk about the hit because he made history a couple days later. So we're going to do the history and then the butt hurt. So Steph Curry kicked some butt this week, and he set the all-time assist record for the Golden State Warriors, which is a lot of years and a lot of people. 4,856 to break the record. That's a lot of assists, my friend.
Dang, a lot of assists in what, in a season?
No, overall 4,800, and you're not that good.
Yeah.
856.
Okay. Got it. I mean, it just goes to show you what Steph Curry is. He's not just a shooter, but he's a passer. So he can play both guard spots. He has unlimited range, just like Damian Lillard. So like I think, but Steph Curry, like of course he's more dangerous from the 3-point line, because that dude could streak it from everywhere. Absolutely. Damian Lillard, like not only he's a 3-point shooter, but he's also like a mid-range shooter that's just so cool under pressure. So I think with these two players, like you know, they're just, I don't know, they're basically like the same player. It's just that Damian Lillard takes more mid-range shots than Steph Curry does. Steph Curry loves to take more threes. So that just goes to show you how many point guards we got that's this elite.
And you know what's crazy is he did that with a bruised tailbone, because he got hurt earlier this week. He was butt hurt. He went to, they jump out of bounds to try to stop the ball. Well, he went to get it. I don't know if he got it or not, but he fell backwards and he fell on the steps, like straight down. There's ways to fall where you brace yourself with your hands, you fall on your back, fall sideways. He fell straight on his tailbone on the edge of that step, and you could see he was in pain. So he had a bruised tailbone, which hurts like hell. No butt jokes, please, people. But except for me, because I said butt hurt. But I love Steph Curry, so I can say that. But he was day to day. Bro, he was obviously fine. He came back and freaking broke a record with a broken butt. So shout out to Steph Curry.
Steph Curry, he probably, during the timeout, he probably had to ice his butt a little bit, just so like he gets the swelling down, and then like he's just up and running again. So I mean, Steph is Steph.
Kicking ass with an injured ass, dude. That's freaking crazy. Speaking of kicking ass, dude, LaMelo Ball. LaMelo versus LeBron.
Yeah,
LeBron gave him nothing but respect after the game. I know you saw that game. Talk to me about that. How was that?
It was good. I mean, like I was getting scared because like LaMelo, like he turned it up in the second half. Didn't really have a good first half. I think he was just filling out like the game against LeBron. And then how people kept hyped how people like hyped up the situation that LaMelo wasn't that excited of playing against LeBron. Like he's just like LaMelo Ball and like Lonzo Ball, they're just like different players. Like
Oh yeah,
like they see
definitely.
a basketball as just a basketball game. So it's not like they're not like one of those basketball millennials saying like, oh, like I'm playing
Mhm.
against LeBron James. Like
Yeah, no.
like they just treat it as another
Mhm.
game, and I'm fine with that. People
Yeah,
just tries to make a story out of it, and
yeah,
that's just not the case.
yeah. No, he's ridiculous who he plays. He just comes in, he's smooth, bro. He's just
He's
smooth.
smooth, exactly, and then like he has flash, he has swag,
Hmm.
like like he shows that he really wants it.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna say this again, like I said last week, he's my rookie of the year, and I
Right
think
here too.
guarantee you he is gonna be rookie of the year.
Yeah, and
If
you know what's
not, like
crazy?
Anthony Edwards is runner up.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy is you just said he has all this swag and he shows off the swag. But
Hmm.
I've noticed after every single game, he gives respect to the superstar or whatever that other team is, and they
Hmm.
give him respect right back. I
Hmm.
noticed that every single time about LaMelo Ball. It's one thing his brother, I love Lonzo, but I never saw that with Lonzo, and I definitely didn't see that with his brother. So his brother's
Yeah,
out somewhere, you know.
LiAngelo Ball.
D'Angelo is probably stealing glasses again somewhere. Yeah, I brought that up. Anyway, there's
At a
always
Louis
one in the
Vuitton
family.
store.
I had to go there. I had to go there. Anyways, so shout out to LaMelo Ball. I would imagine if like the Hornets get the 8, or let's see, the Lakers right now are 3. So the
I think
Hornets
they
are at
moved to 2 because
are we 2?
yeah, they moved to 2 because they won their game last night, and I believe I think
Okay.
Phoenix lost their game last
Phoenix was
night. So
2. So well, let's
as
just
of
say
right
we
now,
were
they're at the number
2.
2 spot.
Let's just say we were 2. The Hornets would be 7. Like, can you imagine a LaMelo LeBron series? That would be dope.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and they're not that bad of a team. Like they're young. Like that team reminds me of like the OKC Thunder team when they
yep,
had that young Kevin Durant, Russell
yep,
Westbrook,
yep,
James
yep.
Harden, Serge Ibaka. They're a young team, but they're also a good team.
Great.
So like if they just keep doing what they're doing, like I think I feel like they could move 2 spots up in the Eastern Conference the
The
way they're
Hornets?
playing right now.
Hornets?
Well, I
They're in
mean,
West.
like
Hornets are in the West.
oh, okay. We're going. Oh, yeah, the West. Okay.
Are they in the West? No, Charlotte.
No. Charlotte's in the
They're
East.
in the East. You're right. Who am I
Yeah,
thinking
they're
of?
in.
Oh, I'm thinking New Orleans. All right. Anyways, I
Yeah,
just
you're talking about New Orleans.
either way, like whoever LaMelo plays, he puts on a show, and that's what people like about him, and he's likable.
And he plays really well under the
Yeah,
bright lights.
well, he's ready for it. So we'll see what's up.
Hmm.
One team that we're used to seeing in the bright lights, we might not see this year because I don't know what the H bomb they're doing. Speaking of H Town, what the hell are the Rockets doing? They just lost their 18th straight game, worst streak ever in Rockets history. Does this
Mm,
surprise you at all after all these deals?
no, no, not really, because that just like the Rockets are basically rebuilding,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not going to be a very good team for probably the next couple of years, depending on like what deals that they're going to make in the offseason. So
Yeah.
and I don't see anybody. I don't know. I don't see anybody going to Houston,
Why would they
to
want
be
to?
honest. And why would they want to?
As soon as
You
Harden
know
left, that was it.
exactly. So I mean, like, they're just a rebuilding team. Like they want to start from scratch. They want to clean house. They want to change the culture down there. So
Mhm.
I mean, they're starting from square one, and that's all I got to say about them.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and go from worst streak to the worst possible decision you can make. Before we do that, again, just want to let everybody know you're watching the All Sports Media Team present Triple B 2.0, episode 17, The Fastlane, The Big Dance with myself and George Lachola over here.
Hmm.
Um, we talked about this last week. I got pissed. We talked about Vanessa Bryant saying that she got the names of the sheriffs. Well, they're out. And I'm going to put their names out there because I disrespect every single one of these guys. And mind you, I back the blue. I
Hmm.
believe in BLM, but I also back the blue.
Hmm.
Um,
Ricky's
these guys,
rants.
these guys, oh, dude, bro. These guys don't deserve to have this badge on their chest. This needs to be taken from them. They need to be suspended, if not fired, and made an example of. Here are the 4 names of those
Okay.
a-holes that took a picture of Kobe and Gianna Bryant and sent it to their friends and their family members and coworkers, apparently. And they have documentation of this.
Mm-hmm.
They are, I don't even want to call them officer because I have no respect for them.
No,
Joey
don't call him
Cruz,
officer.
Joey Cruz,
Okay.
Rafael Mejia,
Mm-hmm.
Michael Russell, and Raul Versailles or Versailles. I really don't care. None of these guys, I'm beyond livid with these guys. I hope they get prosecuted in some which way for something. If not, they need to be fired or suspended. And if suspended, it needs to be indefinitely and it needs to be a very long time.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think not even suspended, they should just be fired straight up by doing what they did because like that's just very disrespectful. That's very like premature on what they did. And you're an officer too. Like on like excuse my language, they just effed up their reputation,
Yeah,
bro.
absolutely.
They
Almost
just
definitely.
really effed up. They really effed up big time. And if that was me, I would like take their badges off. They don't deserve to be officers anymore because how are you an officer and you're telling people not to like share like certain attributes, yeah, certain things, and then like you go on doing like the same thing that you will tell like other civilians not to do. Like what? How could I respect that? How could I respect an officer like that?
Yeah.
That's just yeah, that's just you telling Lewis, hey, like don't play with fire, but then like you go on and you play with fire and then like you make a story out of it and then like you're just reported it from TMZ saying like, oh, you're playing with fire. Like what are you doing to like represent like what you do? Like you're not representing at all. So with that said, like I said before, they should be fired. They shouldn't be even suspended, Ricky. They should be fired on the spot and not get
They
their
were
badge
fired on the
back.
spot because they didn't find out about it until way later. So, and they represent, the county, not just, the city that
Mm-hmm.
they work in, but the county, the sheriffs in general, all around. And we could have another
Mm-hmm.
Rodney King situation all over again.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm so
Like,
glad that
they're
Vanessa
going to go to their
Bryan did
houses and
that.
stuff, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Exactly. And I'm so glad Vanessa Bryan did what she did
Mm-hmm.
because they really need to be exposed because like who if they would not because it's just crazy on like what they did like kudos to Vanessa Bryan for doing what she did.
I agree. 1000%. We're behind you, Vanessa. I Instagrammed her the other day, just telling her we're praying for her, praying for the girls, and that, justice is served because she deserves it. She needs that
Exactly.
closure. So I don't know. So with that said, gotta keep the bad news coming. It's not usually me, but that's what we're doing right now. Talking about stupid people. Someone did a hit and run on former NBA player Sean Bradley. Sean Bradley was on his bike, riding his bike, and some a-hole hit him from behind, drove away, left him for dead. And this former all-star is now paralyzed.
Man, that's just sad, man.
It pisses me off. I guess his phone, and make it worse, his phone was in his bike. So the bike went one way, obviously he went the other. He couldn't get to his phone. He was laying there for a while until somebody came by and saw him. That makes it worse. That pissed me off so much worse. So people need to open their freaking eyes and not be freaking a-holes. And if you do something stupid, own up to it because now they're gonna find this person. They're gonna find them. Someone
they are. TMZ is probably behind the story right now.
Either that or like the camera lights and stuff and the something. They got to catch this person because they left him for dead. That's attempted manslaughter right there.
That's just stupid.
People are idiots. People are freaking idiots. They piss me off. But you know what? It's time for a good moment. You'll like this one. Karis LeVert finally made his Indiana Pacers debut after going through kidney disease, right? Is that what it was?
It was like, something like that.
Yeah. So I'm happy. Did you get to see his return?
I saw highlights, and I'm just so glad that he's in an NBA uniform. Like he's on the the Indiana Pacers, and like I'm just so glad to see him on the hardware doing what he does. Like it's just scoring the ball and like just being great.
Yeah, it's awesome to see him again. I agree. Two guys that are going to be out for a little while. We just talked about potential MVP Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers. He's going to be out for 2 weeks. When I got this news, it was 2 weeks. It's probably about a week and a half now, with a bone bruise. And then Marvin Bagley broke his hand. So he'll be out 4 to 6 weeks. And basketball, you ran like crazy. So he's definitely got a little bit of a rehab ahead of him. We did have some deals that went down. Not too many major deals. Only one big deal that went down this week. The Oklahoma City Thunder trade Diallo to the Detroit Pistons. I think it was for picks, I believe. To the Detroit Pistons. The Houston Rockets, this was a big one. The Houston Rockets trade PJ Tucker to the Milwaukee Bucks for picks. Coach really liked this one, so shout out to Coach. And the big one, I know you're going to have something to say about this one. The Miami Heat trade Miles Leonard to the Oklahoma City Thunder for Trevor Ariza. They got rid of him finally. We said they needed to get rid of him, and they did. What do you think about the deal?
Yeah, like I kind of knew this was coming for Myers Leonard because like from what he did, like doing saying all these slurs and stuff, like that kind of got Miami like that. Miami Heat pretty much made their decision from there, saying that we're not going to resign him, we're going to trade him. He's out of our organization. He just misrepresent on what we are about, and they did what they did. And then as far as PJ Tucker, like let's just be honest, he didn't want to be there anymore because like from the beginning of the season till now, he did not want to be in the Rockets uniform. So I'm so glad that he's in a better situation now. Hopefully he could be just as good as he was last year, if not better. And yeah, I mean, I'm not mad about these trades that just went down, you know. Both like teams did had what they had to do to make it best for their whole for each other's situations.
I agree. I want to throw in my little 2 cents on this. Why the hell would somebody who plays for Pat Riley organization try to pull something stupid like Miles Leonard did? He should have known, like, the second he did, he's like, oh, shit, I'm screwed. Because Pat Riley's an old school dude. I mean, if he could, like, whip him into shape, he would, like, physically, you know? So it is what it is. Maybe, you know, the fresh start will help him out. Obviously, he can't take back what he did, but he can try to move on. And then Trevor Ariza is going to be on a winning team now, you know? So there you go.
Yeah, Miami Heat, they just got better defensively, so look out for them. You know, I mean, they've been playing better basketball, and yeah, let's see if they can make noise down the stretch.
Absolutely.
Playoffs are coming, so
you
know.
So George, you just nailed the next nail in the coffin by saying, you know, kill it down the stretch. This guy right here knows all about that.
Oh, Drew Brees.
Drew Brees. We talked about it last week. Is he going to retire? Is he not going to retire? Is he going to be a backup? Is he going to be the starter? What is he going to do? I knew when I told you that him and Tom Brady had a hug on the field with their kids after the Bucs beat the Saints. I knew Drew Brees was done. Drew Brees is calling it quits after 20 seasons, 15 with the Chargers, 5 with the Saints. Bro's go to the Hall of Fame, first ballot, first round. No doubt in my mind. This he started as a backup, didn't he? Like in San Diego? Oh, no, he was in San Diego. Then Rivers came in. The new kid took over.
Right.
The best thing that could have happened to Drew Brees. He gets sent to New Orleans. He brings them a ring. He's a great guy. He does charity all the time, literally all the time. And dude, even the way he retired was cool. Like only Drew Brees can pull something like this off with the kids. The kids came on to ESPN, his kids, and they said, oh, my dad, after 20 years, is going to stay home to spend time with us, you know, and they build smiles. And it was just a feel-good moment, you know?
Yeah.
So first ballot Hall of Famer.
Well deserved.
So I can't wait to see. Maybe if Brady retires next year, they can go in at the same time. We'll see. If Brady's going for another 5 years, we're not stupid. So, all right, let's go from one quarterback who's going to the Hall of Fame to one quarterback that's had one hell of a year. Deshaun Watson. I'm going to say of the Houston Texans because he's still on the Texans. Bro wants out. He feels like he's playing in a prison because they won't let him out. You know, JJ got out. D-Hop got out, you know, but Watson's still stuck there. And now with the fact that he might be getting out, I think it's kind of funny that all this controversy is coming out about him.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Deshaun Watson is being accused by it's either 7 different masseuses or there's 7 different counts against him of sexual advances at a masseuse parlor.
Ooh.
So I don't know if it was physical. The rumor is that he rubbed up against.
Wasn't it a massage therapist?
Unintentionally rubbed his genitals against one of the masseuses. And another rumor is that he said, do you want to do something? And she said no, and that was it. He left her alone,
Okay.
So it's a lot, not as bad as what Belichick did. Just saying, putting it there. Putting that out there.
Why you taking a shot at Belichick
taking
like
my
that,
shot
Ricky?
at Belichick. Hell yeah. You're a Patriot fan. You know it's true. Anyway.
Yeah, but do you have to like emphasize it?
That Belichick? Yeah, that's a stupid Belichick. Anyway, so my point is it started with 3 counts, then it came up to 4, then 5, and now it's up to 7. So if it's true, I've lost all respect for Deshaun Watson, which sucks because I've built up Deshaun Watson how many times on this show? Talked about how he gave his very first check to the cafeteria staff for the Houston Texans. You know, this guy needs to get out of Houston, dude. It's nothing but trouble for him right now. And especially if this is not true, if it's like some money grubbers, that are trying to just get him before he goes out, which I think is the case. Bro, you know me in rape, you know me in sexual harassment. I'm 1,000,000,000% against it. But if they're doing this out of spite, that's just wrong. And it's going to mess up this kid's career. It's going to mess up his psyche. So he needs to get out.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, they need to release him. Well, they're not really going to release him because that's so unrealistic because Deshaun Watson is a good quarterback talent, but I don't know, man. Like he's not happy there, and the organization is gonna have to look too deep in this deal, like on trying to get rid of him because, like, I think he's gonna try to do what James Harden did. He's gonna try to force his way out.
I think that's what he's gonna do too.
And I think that's what he's gonna do. So I'm not gonna. No. Exactly. He has to go to court. So like, I mean, like that's just a bad situation for Deshaun Watson. So I mean, good luck trying to get through this one.
Yeah, we'll see
if all the allegations are true.
Yeah, if it is, he's screwed. From Watson to Wilson. We got a billion different deals that went down. Wilson was not one of them. Again, he named his 4 cities he wants to. People are saying that he should extend his list because, if people can't afford him, I know the Bears took a shot at him and they didn't get him. They ended up, you'll find out who they signed in a minute. But the Bears went after him. I guess his agent didn't like the deal. But people are saying maybe Miami. Maybe he should talk to Miami.
That's a great destination for him.
Yeah, another rumor is, who said LA? Someone said LA. I'm like, I don't know. Him and Stafford? No. But a lot of the Jets is another one that he could go to. Big name, big lights, stuff like that. So I don't know.
I mean, I think the Jets does have like the money to. Don't they have the money? No, huh?
They're New York, bro. They can get the money.
They can get the money. That's a New York franchise. They're a big market.
So I don't know. Honestly, my question to you: do you think we see Deshaun Watson? Do you think we see Russell Wilson in a Seahawk helmet come September?
That's a very good question, Ricky. I would love for him to stay in Seattle, but with the situations happening there, like I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to a team like the Dolphins.
And have Tua be his backup.
Yeah.
Or trade with Tua.
Or they're probably like if they get Russell Wilson, they'll have to give up Tua and some picks. So
which is a good deal, if you ask me.
Which is a good deal, yeah. So I mean, like I think that could be a better situation for him. Or if he goes to a team like
well, like I said,
I don't know.
I know somebody. He's not going to Chicago, and that was one of his names. Dak is staying in Dallas, so he's not going to Dallas. Like
exactly. Like it's just a hard situation just to grasp.
So it's gonna be interesting, my friend.
Yeah,
bro. Like I said, we have so many deals this week that went down. I don't think I've ever seen a free agent week this busy in NFL history. I have to go to my phone. That's how bad it was this week. All right, here
Crazy.
we go. Like you know me, I like things in order. I like things to flow, bro. I'm just going down the
And you're always on top of like the deals too, Ricky.
list.
I see that, bro.
There's so many that went down. All right, here we go. Some names you'll recognize, some names you won't.
All right.
But here we go. The San Francisco 49ers signed offensive lineman Trent Williams, 6 years, $138 million. And that's another thing. Remember, the salary cap went up. Los Angeles Rams signed Leonard Floyd, 4 years, $64 million. Who's going to back up the Saints? Who's going to be the new Saints quarterback, you ask? Is it Taysom Hill? Is it Jameis Winston? Winston just signed last week. Taysom Hill signs. Oh no, Jameis Winston signs this week as well. But Taysom Hill, 4 years, 140 to stay with the Saints. So there's a good chance he might be the man in New Orleans. The champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers signed linebacker Shaquille Barrett. Guy's a beast. 4 years, 72 mil. Speaking of beasts, Gronk is coming back another year. 1 year, 2 mil with the champs, the Bucks. And Ryan Suckup, check this deal for a kicker. Ryan Suckup stays with the Bucks 3 years, 12 million. So
hey
shout out
man,
to him.
they pretty much kept all their players then.
Yeah, they're not messing around. And Brady's coming back, so watch out.
Brady's coming back, yeah.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, the beard. 1 year, 10 mil with Washington football team, who I'm still pissed off about because they released Alex Smith. Jonnu Smith, former Titan Jonnu Smith, went to your Patriots, 4 years, 50 mil. Stole my tight end. Patriots get a lot.
Am I feeling like the wrath of Ricky's rants again for a little bit?
You guys went crazy this week. You got him. You also signed wide receiver Nelson Aguilar, 2 years, 26 mil. You signed linebacker Matt Judon, 4 years, 56 mil. And another tight end. Why you need two, I don't know. Hunter Henry, who you split to the Chargers, 3 years, 37.5 mil. Speaking of tight end, Corey Davis, another former Titan, signs with the Jets, 3 years, 37.5. Jets also signed defensive end.
1 second.
Go ahead. Carl Lawson, 3 years, 45 mil.
I'll go.
Yeah. 3 years, 45 mil. We're almost done, by the way. We're almost done.
All right, cool.
3 years, 44.5. The Jaguars signed wide receiver. I didn't put who they signed. Let's see. The Giants signed defensive tackle Dalvin Tomlinson. The Giants also signed Leonard Williams, big name Leonard Williams. 3 years, 63 mil. The Ravens signed Yannick Nagatu, 2 years, 26 mil. He's a beast too. Green Bay Packers bring back their running back, Aaron Jones, 4 years, 48 mil. 49ers fullback Kyle Jusic, 5 year, 27 mil. Andy Dalton, that's the name. Andy Dalton is the new Chicago Bears quarterback, 1 year, 10 mil when they couldn't get Wilson. Trey Hendrickson signs with the Cincinnati Bengals, 4 years, 60 mil. My Tennessee Titans released Dory Jackson and Dennis Kelly. Dory Jackson, I'm so pissed we lost Dory Jackson. And then you guys,
that's
again,
a big blow right there.
More action for you. The New England Patriots trade right tackle Marcus Cannon to the Houston Texans for picks. The Texans also trade Benedict McKinney to the Dolphins for linebacker Shaq Lawson. Texans did a lot. The Texans then signed Tyrod Taylor, 1 year, 12 mil. Maybe he's going to be the quarterback. Who knows? Texans signed former Broncos running back Philip Lindsay. That happened today, actually. And they also sent quarterback Will Fuller to the Dolphins. The Bears signed defensive end Mario Edwards, big name. Mario Edwards, 3 years, 11.5 mil. The Bills signed Emmanuel Sanders. That's a big pickup for the Bills and cornerback, Phoebe. Bills also signed backup quarterback Mitchell Trubisky. All right. Didn't see that one coming. Arizona Cardinals were busy too. They signed former All-Star Bengal A.J. Brown. The former Bengal quarterback, CB, William Jackson, signs with the Washington football team, 3 years, 40.5 mil. Curtis Samuel, another one, goes to the Washington football team, 3 years, 34.5. Titans signed linebacker Bud Dupree, 1 year, 16 mil. The Titans signed Janoris Jenkins, another big name. The Raiders signed running back Kenyon Drake, 2 years, 14.5. And Howie's boy, Howie Long's son, Kyle Long, returns to the gridiron, and he's going to play for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Ooh.
That's going to be strong D-line right there. That's all I got to say. So My voice is hurting from all that. That was a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. That is a whole lot. That like NFL was crazy this
They
past
didn't play
week.
around. They did not play around. I know you
Yeah.
got to go. We're almost done. I'm going to jump into WWE real quick.
Okay.
WrestleMania weekend is coming very soon. And before WrestleMania, they have the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And your newest Hall of Famer, last week it was Molly Holly. This week it's a guy who revolutionized the Federation. I'm not talking about WWF or WWE. I'm talking about WCW and then came to WWE. Mr. Eric Bischoff, congratulations.
Okay.
Eric Bischoff, class of 2021. This guy kept WCW alive in the 90s, George.
Killing it,
Not for this
man.
guy. WCW dies a lot earlier. He battled Vince McMahon for years. So shout out to Eric Bischoff, Hall of Fame 2021. I have so many Bischoff stories, but I know we don't have time. All right, we're going to go quick with Fastlane. It's the pay-per-view this Sunday. Just real quick, what happened on Raw, SmackDown. On SmackDown, this was last Friday, this being this Friday. Last Friday, Edge and Daniel Bryan were arguing in the front again. Daniel Bryan's going to fight Roman Reigns at Fastlane for the title. Edge won the Royal Rumble, so he's already getting a title shot at Mania, and he doesn't want to face Daniel Bryan. He comes in, says, "You're not worthy," blah, 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 blah. They go at it. Then in a match with Cesaro, Seth Rollins is back. He was on paternity leave. Becky Lynch had the baby. Rollins has been back for a couple weeks. He comes back, and these two are like two of the best technical wrestlers in in wrestling right now. So for them to go at each other and probably going to be fighting at WrestleMania, I'm very excited about that one. I complained about Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair teaming up because they're going to face each other at WrestleMania for the title. They fought Natalia Neidhart, which is the niece of Bret the Hitman Hart, and Tamina, the daughter of Jimmy Superfly Snuka, rest in peace. And Natty and Tamina ended up winning that match, and that was because that stupid idiot Reginald got involved. Nia Jax then takes that chance, and she challenges Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's title, which we all know she's not going to win, which would be this Friday, against Nia Jax for the women's title. We'll find out what happened later, and you'll know next week. Big E came out. He was injured, got absolutely demolished a couple weeks ago. He comes back. He's pissed. He wants to fight Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews is nowhere to be found. He makes an open challenge. He fights Sami Zayn. He demolishes Sami Zayn. Of course, Apollo Crews shows up after that, beats the crap out of him. Again, we talk about standing, holding the belt. Apollo Crews did the same thing, standing on Big E, holding the Intercontinental belt. They'll be fighting for that belt on Sunday. Universal title contract signing, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan. They both sign. Edge comes out, says he wants to be part of the match, says he wants to be the special enforcer, which is like special referee enforcer. But Jey Uso, who's the cousin of Roman Reigns, wants to do the same. So tonight, as we speak, in about 30 minutes, Edge and Jey Uso will be going at it to see who will be that enforcer at Fastlane. That's really it for SmackDown. Let's jump into Raw really quick. Another WrestleMania main event was announced. It will be Bobby Lashley defending the title against the former champion Drew McIntyre. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be a great match. I was hoping for Drew.
Matchup.
Yeah, I was hoping for Lashley against a returning Brock Lesnar, but I guess it's not happening. So that's going to happen at WrestleMania. Alexa Bliss, believe it or not, who's with the Fiend. The Fiend has been gone. He got burned alive. Got burned to death. She's been torturing Randy Orton lately, doing all these voodoo type things on him. And he's like spitting up black and all this stuff. She challenges Randy Orton to a match at Fastlane. Says, "Hey, if you really want to get rid of me, you're going to have to get rid of me yourself." Which we all know he's going to show up. They're going to go to fight, and the Fiend is going to show up, which will then set up a match for WrestleMania, the Fiend and Randy Orton. That's what I'm saying. Braun Strowman, who's one of the biggest guys in all of wrestling, muscular-wise, calls out Shane McMahon. Yes, the Shane McMahon. Calls him out because Shane McMahon's been calling him stupid, making fun of him, saying that he's not worth it, not worthy. They have a match, and Shane McMahon just, believe it or not, demolishes him because he hits him with a TV camera. Hits him with a TV camera, knocks him out, and just starts beating the crap out of him. And then them being in Florida, they have all that Nickelodeon slime crap there. For some reason, he poured a bunch of slime on top of him, and that's how that match ended, which was stupid. After that was Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke against Lana and Naomi. And in that match, not that good of a match, but Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler show up. Mind you, they're the women's tag team champions. They come up, they show up. And remember, we talked about last week that it was Shayna Baszler who gave Asuka, the Raw Women's Champion, gave her a concussion by kicking her in the head, and her tooth came out.
Ooh.
So Asuka has been gone a couple weeks. She comes back. She makes her big return. Shayna goes at her. They start battling. They have a match later on where Asuka just goes nuts. Beats up Shayna. She's a UFC fighter. She's a former UFC fighter. She's Ronda's friend. So Asuka gets so pissed that she beats the crap out of Shayna. She rips off the padded turnbuckle. Now it's a metal beam. And she sticks Baszler's face on it and grinds on the metal turnbuckle.
Ooh.
So, yeah, I'm praying to the God above that we have this title match at WrestleMania. Shayna Baszler versus Asuka, and Shayna walks away the champion. I'm not a big heel guy, but I love Shayna Baszler, and I think she deserves the push. So, and how awesome would it be for her to be champion when Ronda Rousey returns?
Oh,
that's right, Nick. I'm just putting it out there, WWE. I'm just putting it out there. Just saying, if you use that, give a shout out to All Sports Media Team. Anyway,
spam their Twitter, Ricky.
Putting it out there, bro, at All Sports, at All Sports Media Team. After that, the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, they won the tag team title for the 11th time in their career. So shout out to them. So now it will be, and then AJ Styles came out, of all people. AJ Styles comes out with his big giant friend Omos, who's like 8 feet tall. Anyway, and in a nutshell, he challenges the New Day for a tag team title match at WrestleMania. Mind you, AJ and Omos have never had a match together, so it should be interesting. Obviously, it happens. I don't know. I did tell you, Bad Bunny, the actual music icon or legend or whatever he is right now, superstar Bad Bunny, is the 24/7 champion. It was 3/15 at the time. It was March 15th. 3/16 was the next day. So R-Truth was all dressed up in all his Stone Cold Steve Austin stuff, 3/16 stuff. And he's like, he goes to Bad Bunny. He's like, hey, I just want to, I don't want to attack you. I don't want to match you. I want to give you a gift. And he gives him a Stone Cold Steve Austin, I think, shirt. And then he gives him the Smoking Skull belt. And he gives him the belt. And he gives him this Austin briefcase or whatever, or lunchbox. It was really funny. But then Bad Bunny's like, I like this belt better than this one. He takes off the 24/7 title and he gives it back to R-Truth. So now R-Truth is the 24/7 champion for like the 50th time now. So I thought that was a pretty funny segment. All right, that's that for Raw. So now we're set. We know what we got going into Fastlane. Fastlane, again, I'm kind of iffy on it. It's got some okay matches. Highlighted by this one right here, Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title. I think they should have went from Rumble to WrestleMania, but this will be the first pay-per-view on Peacock, by the way. It will be this Sunday. I think it's at 4 o'clock, actually. Yeah, it's at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, 4 o'clock.
On Peacock. If you have WWE Network, you can use WWE Network one more time. This will be the last pay-per-view that is on WWE Network. If not, you can use Peacock. And here are your matches. United States title, more than likely is going to take place. It's going to be Mustafa Ali against the former UFC fighter, Matt Riddle. We got one-on-one with the two Irish beasts, Drew McIntyre against Sheamus. That's going to be a freaking brawl. Intercontinental title, we just talked about. SmackDown, Big E against Apollo Crews. Women's tag team title, I still don't like this because I have a feeling Sasha and Bianca are going to win, and I don't want them to. Bianca and Sasha against Nia and Shayna. And then, of course, your main event with the special enforcer, either Edge or Jey Uso. Universal title, Daniel Bryan taking on Roman Reigns, winner to face Edge at WrestleMania.
Yes, wow.
Sir. Yes, sir. It's going to be a busy week. It's already been a busy week. It's been absolutely freaking bananas, George. We've had March Madness. We had that bloody-ass match on AEW with the ladies. NXT just made some pretty sick main events as well. We said, sadly, we said goodbye to a boxing legend and Marvelous Marvin Hagler. God, it's so many crazy things. UFC 261's got a loaded card that's coming, and that's going to be coming as well April 24th. So be ready. All the crazy NBA news that we talked about, your boy D. Lil, LaMelo, and then Curry getting butt hurt and still kicking butt in the process. Talked about the big Heat trade, the bajillion deals that went down in the NFL. And of course, shout out to Eric Bischoff again, second member to go in the 2021 Hall of Fame. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, you know who Eric Bischoff is. So shout out to Eric Bischoff. And of course, we got Fastlane this Sunday. I'm going to make a Fastlane to my bedroom very soon because I got to catch the last couple games of March Madness. Well, really quickly, we can check one more time. Let's see what we got going. We got Houston beating Cleveland State. We got North Texas upset. Upset. We talked about this one. We talked about that one already. North Texas and Purdue. Let me see if there's any others going on before I let you go. Come on, work with me. Work with me. There we go. Right now, don't worry about Buffalo. That one's an NIT tournament. It looks Rutgers and Clemson, 33-32 in the second. Okay, they got Syracuse, San Diego State. And then Morehead State and West Virginia just started. Winthrop and Villanova just started. Winthrop and Villanova is the last game of the day. So, and coming this weekend, again, all this weekend, if you're home, watch March Madness. That's all I got to say about that.
Most deaf.
Absolutely. It's going to be an awesome weekend. Been an awesome week, and we got a crazier week to follow, George. So on behalf of myself, Double R, Ricky Rodriguez, and All Sports Media team, I want to say thank you to my dude right here, George Ochola, for giving us his time, giving us his knowledge, giving us his effort. So thank you, George, for that.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Let's get ready for some March Madness fun. It's going to be really cool. So if you want, get some chips, get some sodas, get some hot dogs, hang out with your family, watch March Madness, cherish your family, love your family. Remember that. And also remember, whether you're trying to score in life or climb the ladder of success, always reach for the title. We out.
We out.
That's right.